Our news reporter Rejed Ahmed is here. Rejed, first we were told that there was no distress signal. Now an Egyptian military unit says that it's picked one up. The Reuters news agency is reporting this, reporting.
That's right. That's what we're hearing. It's obvious that no one's quite sure what's happened. It's probably not unusual to get conflicting reports about what distress signals may or may not have been sent. We've also been hearing that the Greek air traffic controllers are saying that the flight disappeared from radar 2 minutes after exiting Greek airspace, that they spoke to the pilot before they exited Greek airspace and that everything seemed to be fine. So there's still no indication about what might have gone wrong, about where this plane is and why it disappeared. Really not very long before it was due to land in Cairo.
Can you go through the nationalities of the passengers for us? This has come directly from EgyptAir, has it?
That's right. EgyptAir, pretty much since it notified us on Twitter that this plane was missing, it's been drip feeding information. We've been relatively well informed, but it is drip feeding information. And it says that there's been 15 French, 30 Egyptian, a Belgium, 2 Iraqis, a Kuwaiti, a Saudi Arabia national, a Sudanese person, a Chad national, a Portugal national, Algeria national and a Canadian as well. These are just the passengers, but these are the nationalities that we know were on board.
Associated Press is saying that Egyptian aviation officials are saying that this plane has crashed. That's all this statement says. It doesn't say where it's crashed, when it crashed, any other details, but that it's crashed. This is on the Associated Press. And the indications, despite still no official confirmation, we don't have a source for this in terms of a name of a person who said it, but a spokesman for the Civil Aviation Ministry in Cairo had said earlier, a couple of hours ago, that he believed it had gone down in the Mediterranean.
That is what is feared, that it has crashed in the Mediterranean. However, the French Prime Minister has said they're ruling absolutely nothing out as well. But there were reports that an official in Egypt had said the most likely event was that it had crashed into the Mediterranean. We do know there's a big search operation. In fact, EgyptAir tweeted that their search operation had been intensified. There's armed forces involved, naval aircraft as well. We understand Greece is involved in the search. So they've decided on an area of the Mediterranean, a search area, and that's where they're going in, where they lost that radar contact as the area that they're searching for.
The Greek air traffic controller had spoken to the pilot of the plane while the flight was over Greek airspace, and he didn't report any problems.
No.
The Greek Civil Aviation Authority seems to be giving as much information as anybody else. They say that the plane disappeared when it was just 2 minutes outside of Greek airspace. We had heard earlier that pilots always talk to both countries as they're leaving one nation's airspace and going into another one.
That's right. So at the very beginning of all of this, when we first heard that the plane was missing, the Egyptian Air said that it lost radar signal about 10 miles into Egypt airspace. So it was really a short time before it was due to land at Cairo. Everything had been fine, nothing out of the ordinary, and then the plane vanishes.
Thank you very much indeed for the moment, Rejed. Just to pick up on your last point, the distress message that the Egyptian military is reported to have received came less than 10 minutes before the flight disappeared. This is an EgyptAir official talking about the exact moment of that distress signal, which was 02:26 GMT.